It's free.
And quiet.
It's free.
Quiet, numbskull. We're broadcasting.
Oh, are we live?
And what?
Doesn't change the fact that it's.
I want to introduce you to my new co-host.
The guy who's got top billing.
I say hello to Steven Seagal. He's got the Steven Seagal look.
We have a contest. What? I look like Tim Hudson with a goatee.
Actually, if you take off, the cap, you're sort of like Ted DiBiase, the $1 million man.
I can live with. Everyone's got their price. Yours is about a dime. You'll do anything for 10 cents.
I will. I am an absolute whore. Welcome in and welcome back to our little podcast. It's titled Stuff Your Mom Threw Out. I'm David Schuster.
Who named that show, by the way?
I think you did.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. I'm David Schuster. He's Scott Beatty. He's the owner and operator right here at AU Sports, 6006 Dempster in Morton Grove. And this podcast is a little bit of sports memorabilia. We got some breaking news that we're going to get to. He likes that Steven Seagal. Doesn't he look like Steven Seagal if he puts on those really ugly glasses? Yes, you do. You have the Steven Seagal Fu Man. What kind of beard is that? What is that called? What is it called?
It's called attractive.
It's not called attractive. That's for damn certain. What is that? It's I don't know what it is. Anyway, he's Scott Beatty. I'm David Schuster. We're going to talk some sports memorabilia. We got breaking news. Breaking news. It's just off the press.
That's actually amazing because, we actually record this live.
Yes.
And then a couple days later, it goes on to the audio only portion. You can watch this.
Right.
You can go on to the audio only. So, but we actually have breaking news at 5:19 p.m. on August the 19th. We're like professionals.
Yeah, it'll be old news by the time it's only on audio.
This is like for you as a journalist, it has to be exciting to be sitting with me doing this.
Well, I won't go that far, honestly. Anyway, we're brought to you by Village Inn in Skokie. They're located at 8050 Lincoln Avenue in Skokie.
You're getting better at this.
Yeah. Do you want to say anything about our sponsor? Say something nice.
I always say something nice about our sponsor.
Please.
Desi and the folks over at the Village Inn Pizzeria on Lincoln Avenue in Skokie always treat us great. Great food, great stuff. And listen, if you're watching this live, Saturday night, they're going to be showing Wwe Summerslam for free. And then I believe next week is going to be Showtime Championship Boxing. Again, no cover, free. Come on in, get some pizza, get some beer, spend some money.
I got
good people at Village Inn.
They are great people, by the way. I got to talk to Desi because Saturday night there's Manny Pacquiao in boxing. Why are they not showing that? They're going to have to talk.
Manny packs of what?
No, Manny Pacquiao.
Of cigarettes.
No, I don't think
Manny
he smokes.
Packs. Well, then what is it then?
He's boxer. He's a boxer.
Who is?
Manny Pacquiao. You know who Manny Pacquiao is.
I thought you were saying Desi was a boxer.
No, I don't think so. So I'll have to query him why he's not showing the boxing, but whatever. We do have breaking news. It just literally busted. This is about as big a news in the sports memorabilia business as there's been in the last 70 years. Why don't you tell everybody what it is?
Well, I don't know all the details yet, but we're going to get to them. I have to get to them. I'm in the business. I got to know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Listen, Topps is losing its exclusive baseball license. They will no longer be producing baseball cards as we know it. The company known as Fanatics Inc. is supposedly taking over the exclusivity to make baseball cards with the Major League logo on them. Currently, the secondary company Panini, who does baseball, are allowed to produce cards, but they're only allowed to produce player images. They can't use like the Cubs logo or, my A's logo. And so it's a little bit different product. So I'm not sure if past that, if how are they going to do this? How are they going to transition? The 2022 baseball cards have already been announced. We've already had to put in our pre-sales for 2022, and Topps puts out dozens of products a year. So I don't know how this is going to wind up. I don't know if we're going to get some cancellations of certain products that haven't gone to the press yet or gone to order yet. I'm not sure if there's going to be refunds for pre-orders. And Fanatics is supposedly coming in. And I'm also read real quick right before the show, this also might involve the NFL and the NBA.
Holy shit.
if this happens, if Fanatics takes over the card world, it's going to wreak havoc, man. But maybe I don't know if it's good or bad yet. I don't.
Okay, well, first of all, for baseball, it's not supposed to kick in until what, the 23 season?
Well, 2023. But my point being that Topps, what they call Series 1. And Series 1 is the one that comes out in February. It's the first baseball cards of the year. That's already probably pretty close to print if they haven't, because they do it several months beforehand. So that's supposedly still happening, but I'm talking about maybe the stuff that would normally come out on a September and October release. Are they still going to go through with everything they can? And if they are they just going to be throwing shit out the window? Like, get this out, make people buy it. I
got a feeling the bottom line is always the bottom line, and I'm sure you'll agree with this. Somehow or another, because Topps has been the man, the king of the hill for trading cards, especially in baseball, for 70 years. So there's got to be a money-oriented deal here.
Of course it is. And like I said, I don't know if that's going to be good or bad for the fans. Right now, cards are at an all-time peak. Will this be a bump on the road? Will this derail it? Will it skyrocket it to a completely different atmosphere? We don't know yet. Hopefully on the next show in a couple of weeks, we'll have some more answers and we can talk more about that then. But as it is right now, I think I'm going to be on the phone with Fanatics tomorrow for the next day and making sure that I get in on the ground floor, because I can't.
It's basically like, let's start kissing up to the new kid on the block.
Oh, I'm very good at that.
Yes, you are. All right. Well, speaking of cards escalating, another breaking story, and it just happened a day or two ago, and you can speak to this, obviously. We have a new world record, and the king is back. And it's not LeBron.
We have a new world champion. In fact, every card that sells for more than the last card, that we should have a title belt.
Yes.
We should have a little title belt. We can flash it on the screen, and maybe a picture of Ric Flair behind it. The real world's champion. Well, the new real world champion is the old real world's champion.
Long live the king. And the king is dead. Long live him again.
And that is the original Mac Daddy, the T206 Onus Wagner card. Have you learned to pronounce his name yet?
Honus, whatever. Hamas.
Honus. When have you ever met somebody named Honus?
Hannes Wagner. What do you want to give the price? $6.6 million.
And this is the card you may have read about.
Who bought this, by the way? I did. Of all the stories written about this card, I didn't see what billionaire purchased this card. Who did it?
Who did it?
Was it you?
No, it was Honus.
The bottom line is yes, of course, Randy. You're absolutely right. Nice picture, by the way.
Well, you have to mention, because
this is live
on the audio podcast. Yes. They won't know when you say that's right, Randy. One of our
Randy
listeners,
G, one of our faithful, loyal listeners,
chipped in and said viewers. It's all about the money, and I agree with that, and that's why
Well, as my pappy used to say, the bottom line is always the bottom line. But anyway,
Pappy, were you a member of the original Little Abner comic strip?
Yes, that. And if you do remember,
do you
remember the old TV show?
They used Pappy in Nashville.
Do you remember the old TV show Maverick? Did you ever watch that one with James Gardner?
I used to watch the one with Dirk Nowitzki.
Okay. Oh, you got me. Dallas Mavericks. They won one NBA title.
Yeah, you finally got that one.
Okay,
huh?
Yes, I did. Anyway, on the old TV show Maverick, the two Maverick brothers, and I don't remember what the other guy's name was.
Drake.
Not Drake. It's not Drake. Anyway, they always used to. That was Bart. That was the other guy's name.
So the other guy's name wasn't Drake?
No, it wasn't Drake.
Maybe
they're stepbrother or something. No, it was not. It was Bart. It was.
I've never seen the show. I just know that James Garner was in it.
Yes,
and I like.
Did you like him in Rockford Files?
Well, that's why I know the answer to the other question, because I liked him on Rockford Files. That was a good show.
Rockford Files was a great show. What was his fee? Whenever he used to have a new customer,
$35 a day plus expenses.
No. It was plus expenses. How much was it? It was a certain amount a day.
$125.
No,
not much.
$200 a day.
And that was like back in 1970.
That's right.
Jeez.
All right, so 1252 Sports Entertainment. If you're watching live,
that's our parent company. That's back in the studio, and by the studio we mean the garage.
That's right, no doubt. No, it's the basement. Is the Wagner T206 card the most expensive piece ever sold? From a card standpoint, the answer is yes.
Yeah, I mean,
is there anything more memorabilia more than that?
Off the top of my head, I'm going to own up to having to do the research on that.
Okay,
but I mean, when you get up into that stratosphere. I mean, what's there going to be? There's only going to be maybe a Babe Ruth game used type, but even then I don't see going for $6.6 million. Whatever this is, it's like playing hot potato with these cards, Now what's going to happen? What's going to happen if the LeBron that went for $3 million,
it's going to go
up.
The
Mike Trout that went for $4 million, and now are these cards going to start leapfrogging? Look,
yeah, I think they will.
Wagner is the one you can read about. It was turn of the century. It was limited production because the story is that Wagner didn't, because the T cards were the small cards that came out in tobacco packs,
right?
And you buy your pack of smokes when you were a kid,
right?
When you were a kid, you didn't even phase you.
I picked up on it. By the way, was Honus Wagner, was he related to Lyle Wagner from the old Carol Burnett show?
They spelled it two different ways, so the answer is no.
Okay, too bad.
So you go out as a kid and you'd buy your pack of smokes, and there'd be a baseball card on the back,
right?
And Wagner was in, I don't know how many are in existence. I think they figured something like less than 125 of them, something along those lines. So it always had the prestige of being this card. I mean, once people started being real collectors, say in the 50s or 60s, of being the card because they were scarce. There was only a few known out there. And the story is that Wagner didn't like to promote smoking to kids. And he didn't want his product, his face on this product. There's also a second story that he may or may not have wanted more money. So and that could be too. I don't have any proof. But this card has sold over the years, and it always went up and went up and went up. In fact, Wayne Gretzky and Bruce McNall,
they were one of the original.
They went in on the card originally when it first broke the $1 million barrier.
Is it that particular card that just sold for 6.6 then?
Yes.
Okay, so it's made the merry-go-round. So Gretzky obviously probably made a profit.
They sold it years ago.
Okay, so
not that many years ago. In fact, they got out. I don't know what year. Just with the show.
It's in the past. There's the cop-out answer. All right, this Wagner card previous was what, 4 point something?
It was somewhere in there.
Okay, so whoever purchased it for 4 point something went ahead and sold it to whoever. I still don't know who bought it. They made about a $1.5 million profit off it. A dumb, stupid baseball card.
Well, you and I have been over this before. I'm in the business. And
I know you don't. You can't understand it either.
I shake my head at this. $6.6 million. How many trips around the world is that?
I don't know.
That's like 10 trips around the world with a happy ending.
Happy ending. All right, lots of things to talk about. We're gonna, do. Listen,
anything interesting?
No, absolutely not. I think we've already done more sports memorabilia than we normally do in an entire show.
Yeah, this is bullshit.
But I will touch one more sports memorabilia thing because I saw recently that a 1950 Jackie Robinson jersey sold for $4.2 million.
Well, Jackie Robinson is really one of the 3 or 4 icons of baseball. He might be number 2 behind Ruth. I still always contend Ruth is, because even after he retired, he was the most photographed man in the world. I don't think Jackie Robinson was the most photographed man in the world, maybe past his first season or two. If he was, I don't know how they keep track of it. Is there like a list of most photographed people? I'd like to know where I was on that list.
Way down.
I just want to know where I am. I just want to know who I follow.
You're at AU Sports 6006.
I just want to know who I follow on this. Hey, look I could be 7,350th on that list. I just want to know who's ahead of me and who's behind me. The Jackie Robinson, he's finally getting his due.
Okay.
In the hobby. He was always kind of overlooked, even despite being who he is. I think if you're making a list, the most important people in baseball history.
Yes.
Not the best, not the best. He is, if he's not number 1, you'd have to fight me for number, who maybe you might put up one of the early league presidents, or maybe
league presidents.
Well, like when they formed the American League.
Who the F cares about them?
Well, their families probably did, but they're all dead now.
Who cares?
I'm just throwing it out there. I'm trying to think if there's anybody who's been more important in the history of baseball than Jackie Robinson. And no, probably not, because it was even his introduction to the game that even led into, even though Latin players had played before, all of a sudden the dark Latin players, because Minnie Minoso, being Cuban, there'd been Cubans in the league before, but they were light-skinned Cubans. They were actually kept out of the game because of the darkness of their skin.
Yeah, I mean,
so those guys started to be able to come into the game as well, and now Latins dominate baseball. I mean, I don't know what the percentage is anymore, but I think that I think they might be up to 25-30% of players in the majors.
I'll get back to you like you'll get back to us.
Where's our fact checker Alan today? Is he off? So dock his pay. Take his stuff and hide his shoes.
Okay. All right. I think when you were referring to people in the past, like commissioners, what was his name? The Landis-less?
Kennesaw Mountain Landis.
Yeah, him.
Well,
was he a judge?
Definitely, yes, he was.
He was a judge.
He was a judge. He was a.
Did he have a TV show?
He was an antitrust judge.
Was he?
Did he have a TV? He would have been. No,
Judge Judy.
There's a great story. My favorite.
Did you see how much money Judge Judy made a year?
Yeah, like $14 million.
No, I think it was a lot more than that. Even.
How much of that from porn? I went first today. Would you watch Judge Judy?
No,
right.
Absolutely not. All right. Anyway, enough. Well, one more sports. Not sports memorabilia, but one more memorabilia piece that'll lead us into something a little bit funnier.
Well, I do have a Kennesaw Mountain Landis story.
Okay, is it going to make us laugh?
Well, he was real surly, hard nosed. He's one of the guys who helped keep African Americans out of baseball for as long as he did. He was an
effing bigot, is what he was.
Yeah, but he wanted to give baseball like this clean image and everything else. He went to Gabby Hartnett, who was the All-Star Hall of Fame catcher for the Cubs, because Al Capone here in Chicago was a Cub fan, and Capone would go to games at Wrigley Field, and he'd be sitting right on the wall, right down there. And there's a famous picture of Capone, which I'm hanging in my office at home. There's a picture of Capone talking to Gabby Hartnett.
Really? Okay.
And the picture got in the newspaper or whatever, and the commissioner went to Gabby and said, "Hey,
too bad you couldn't get that.
Don't associate, with him.
Yeah.
It's bad." And Hartnett told the commissioner, "If you don't want me talking to Al Capone, you tell him."
Absolutely, that's a good one. All right, so I saw that there's a Saturday Night Live Chippendales card signed by Chris Farley along with Patrick Swayze.
Well, they're both dead.
Actually, that's true. But it was signed back in the day. You remember they did that skit on Saturday Night Live where Swayze.
You mean the only funny thing Chris Farley ever did?
Yeah, well, you're leading into what I'm saying. So the card itself sold in Golden Auction for $4,200. It was signed by Farley. Okay.
Oh, wait. The studio's checking in.
Yes.
I don't like that Chris Farley comment. That was a low blow. That was a low blow.
Oh,
Chris Farley is one of the greatest comedians who's ever lived.
Okay, he's done two funny things.
I'm so glad that you said that. That was Mike, by the way, who is the CEO of 1252 Sports Entertainment. Anyway, Scott here has always commented to me that Chris Farley is not funny at all. So I want you, and I have a long list of comics here. I want you to tell me your top comics.
Oh, okay. All right. My top comic actor, Bill Murray.
Okay.
Bill Murray. I don't like one-trick ponies. And I consider in my list of one-trick ponies guys like Jack Black, Jim Carrey, Will Ferrell. They play the same guy every time out of the box. Farley was like that. He was, just a ball of energy. Same guy.
What about Robin Williams?
And not a fan.
Oh, okay.
As an actor,
we all have our. Well,
no, it's true.
And he did some very dramatic roles on top of that.
As an actor, he was fine. And some of these guys, in fact, Will Ferrell did a movie called, I think, Stranger Than Fiction. Is that the one where he hears a voice in his head, but it's a book or something?
I don't know.
And he was fine.
He lost me after Elf.
And he was fun. I'm surprised he kept you that long.
No, actually, I'm not a Will Ferrell fan. But
my favorite. My favorite comedic.
Go ahead.
I like
and stand-ups too. Also,
there's some comedic actors I enjoy. But I don't like. There's nobody I'm gonna watch a movie just because they're in it. Because there's plenty of Burr. You may like, for instance, I'll give you a guy, Adam Sandler, right? Happy Gilmore's fun. Big Daddy's fun. But then he's made a whole bunch of garbage.
Did you like him in The Wedding Singer?
It's all right.
It's actually a good movie,
But
it's not just a comic role. All right, actually,
stand-ups.
okay. Well, more to stand-ups. I have a long list, and I want your opinions on.
Well, who doesn't love Rodney?
Rodney's my favorite of all time.
He's not my favorite, but
He was my favorite
I love
of all
Rodney,
time. And I loved him in his
and by
movies
that
too.
we mean Rodney Dangerfield and
Right.
not former White Sox pitcher Rodney Bolton.
Yeah, he was awful.
There's my guy, and I actually,
Who's your guy?
as strange as it seems, I actually consider him kind of like my mentor, even though we never met.
Oh yeah, because he thinks he's the funniest man on the planet.
Living?
Well,
I might be.
Okay, who's your mentor?
George Carlin.
George Carlin is way up there.
George Carlin.
Did you like Lenny Bruce?
Again, we've been over the fact that
All right, I
that
know he's further back.
That you would go see Lenny Bruce after you went to the Benny Goodman concert.
No, okay, come on. If you're a fan of comedy, you have to know the history of comedy.
I know,
and Lenny Bruce led the way for a guy like George Carlin.
Yeah, I mean, it's sharp, it's cerebral. Carlin took it a step further. He was a master of the English language. He just knew how to put the right words.
Here we go. Here's
what you gonna chip in with your Lenny Bruce bullshit now?
No, what about Don Rickles?
Love Don Rickles.
We haven't gotten there. I went and saw Don Rickles live.
I saw Rickles live a couple of times. Yeah,
you couldn't believe the shit he got away with.
Oh, absolutely. All right, I'm going to go down the list. You tell me yay or nay if you like them.
Yay or nay?
Dave Chappelle.
Chappelle's great. He's fun.
Chappelle
he's smart. He's another smart.
Very
I like smart comedy.
Sometimes, honestly, I don't follow.
Hey,
his
wait!
humor.
I got a TV show recommendation.
What's that?
It's on right now.
What is it?
It is so off the walls. It's on Netflix. It's called "I Think You Should Leave," and it's a
bye.
Oh, it worked.
Oh, wait a second.
It worked. No, it's a sketch comedy show. It's a sketch comedy show on Netflix. If you haven't watched it and you like just off the wall comedy, it is so good. It's one of the funniest. The funniest things on TV right now for me. I Think You Should Leave just killed me. I love a show called What We Do in the Shadows, which is a mockumentary about vampires. It's done by Taika Waititi, was one of the producers of it.
Say that 10 times.
Taika Waititi. It's my mantra. He's brilliant. He's the guy who did Jojo Rabbit. He did Thor Ragnarok. He's good.
Okay.
I mean, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I can't wait for that to come back this fall.
Let me run down some other comics. You give me a yay or nay. Chris Rock.
Oh, he's fantastic.
He is good.
He's fantastic.
He is very good. We talked about Rodney Dangerfield. We talked about George Carlin. Eddie Murphy in his heyday.
Well, those two specials are kind of like that's where the bar was set for these guys now.
I saw Eddie Murphy in concert one time. I don't know, somewhere downtown. I can't remember where it was. And there was some guy who was heckling him. I don't know if it was staged or not, but it was great.
That's dangerous.
Well, it was dangerous because what Murphy said after the guy heckled him one time too many, Murphy goes, "You either shut up or I'm going to throw my wallet on you and crush you."
It reminds me of
that was great.
I saw Ray Romano do stand-up, not in person. Ray Rayner is only known to people who live in Chicago, so I'd love to do a show on Ray Rayner. Okay, the Ray Romano did a stand-up routine where he was talking about the joke that he did. His wife was complaining about all the time he spent away from the family and how he never spent any time with her and how he's never home. And he said, "Oh, well, why don't you just go cry in a big bed of money?"
Yeah, that's a good one.
One of our,
Bill Burr
back in the studio brings up Bill Burr. Bill Burr is smart too, and he's also acerbic. How's that word?
I like that.
And I like guys like that. I like Norm Macdonald.
Norm Macdonald is very funny, dry humor, but
that's what
very
I mean.
funny.
But sharp, smart.
Yes.
You know, he once went on a roast. He went on a celebrity roast on Comedy Central.
Who'd he roast?
And I don't remember which one it was. He tanked on purpose. That was his comedy. He was going to tank on purpose, and all the comics are dying because they know what he's doing, and the audience what?
That's great. All right, so we mentioned some of these other ones already. Robin Williams, Don Rickles. They're two of my favorites.
Red Fox,
Red Fox, who was very blue, right?
Yeah.
Very blue.
Yeah. In fact, I just watched CNN's running a documentary series called History of the Sitcom.
Right.
And they talked about Red Fox getting hired. And it was like, they were like, well, is this going to work out?
You mean on Sanford and
But
Son?
he was able to be palatable to the white audience, as it were.
Sure, because he knew he had to keep it in check because they were paying his
paying
checks. But yes, in concert, he was very
I'm not 100% convinced they were paying DeMont Wilson anything, though. So,
Elizabeth, I'm coming. That was great. All right. Mentioned Norm Macdonald. I got you, Jim Carrey. You don't like Sam Kinison.
I saw Sam Kinison.
Wow,
I saw him live at the Vic Theater.
You're that old?
Not as old as you would think, but no, yeah, it was sometime in my early 20s, I think. When he first came around, he was doing maybe a couple of appearances on like Letterman, and I got a couple of free tickets, and he was like nothing I'd ever seen before. Now, a lot of Sam or Little Sam goes a long way. Let's just say that. I could watch Carlin specials or Chris Rock special. I could watch, one a night for 5 nights in a row. I don't think I could do that with Kinison.
Okay.
He's too
out there.
Too much.
And he, there was, I've listened to him a lot of times. He was on Howard Stern almost all the time. And sometimes he screamed just too much. Okay. And at some point it just became a little bit too much for me. All right. Female comics. And there's a lot of great ones.
Nikki Glazer.
I'm not sure who is that.
And Sarah Silverman.
Sarah Silverman. Oh my God. She turns me on in so many ways. Why is Pryor not mentioned yet?
I got to tell you this,
Richard
David.
Pryor.
You don't just stare at the screen and read off the screen. Do it organically. Feed into. We haven't mentioned Richard Pryor.
Oh,
that's how you do it.
No,
you squint your glasses
because
you put
I can't see the goddamn thing. I thought they meant Mark Pryor.
He wasn't funny. After 2004, he was tragic.
Richard Pryor also very funny and very blue in concert, right?
Richard Pryor, though, this is okay. See, we need the unpopular opinion sign.
Well, you don't like Richard Pryor?
No, I like Richard Pryor, but I think Richard.
We were talking about him earlier today.
There we go. Okay, the unpopular opinion. I believe that Richard Pryor has been put on a pedestal with like Jimi Hendrix. It's like if you mention comedy, oh, you didn't mention Pryor. If you mention guitar players, oh, you didn't mention Hendrix.
Well, because you should mention Hendrix if you're talking about guitar players, and you should mention Pryor.
But it's not.
If you're talking about comics,
But it's like they're put on. Like you and your. Will you stop flashing the unpopular opinion sign?
If you turn it upside down the other way with your middle finger, then we know
the geeks back at the studio. They want to let me know. It's like you and your Beatle fandom.
Okay, see now he's gonna start say, okay, now I know that's Mike's unpopular decision because Scott here thinks, and we've talked about this numerous times, he thinks the Beatles are overrated. Meanwhile, Mike back in the studio thinks they're the greatest band of all time.
We need a second podcast where it's just me telling you everything you like is bullshit.
You can mix that in here. I don't mind. Sarah Silverman. She's so funny and clever and sexy.
She is sexy and she's not really good looking.
Oh, I think she is.
No. It's her attitude that makes her better looking. She's kind of cute. Well, especially when she was younger, but I think she's pushing 50 now.
No, she's not that old yet.
Anyway,
I think she's just barely 40.
Listen, I happen to catch
kinky, right?
Yeah. I happen and she used to let Jimmy Kimmel get on top of her. Yikes. But by the way, he's good too. I like Kimmel.
Kimmel is very funny and very clever.
Wait. Let me. Sarah Silverman. How I discovered her.
You discovered her?
I think I did. She never sent me any royalty checks.
She dumped you though, apparently.
Well, as right
because you're working here.
Yeah, rightly so. I think I was just looking for a special to watch on Netflix or something, and she did this thing, and she did this routine where she said, and here she is, she's cute, and she's kind of pixie-ish, and she's got a way of talking when, the punchline was about getting a facial.
What kind of facial?
Not the kind you go to the spa for. Our more sophisticated listeners will
yes, I'm sure you can read between.
The punchline, it was literally, she's like, my boyfriend and I, we don't want to have children, so we're trying different kinds of birth control. And I asked my girlfriend, what does he do instead of, going inside you? And she goes, well, he usually just in my face. And she goes, oh, so we're going to try that, meaning for birth control. I just went, oh my God, is that number one? Is that hilarious? Number two, clever as hell. And I can't believe that's coming out of her mouth. So then, of course, I had to investigate her further and
Literally out of her mouth.
and then look up nude pictures of her on the internet.
Here's some.
Because I do that with everybody.
We have somebody else from 1252 Sports Entertainment who's saying the Louis C.K., who's very controversial. I'm not an all-time Louis C.K. fan, but I understand.
But he's another one that comes under that heading of really smart comics.
Yes.
Because he'll drag a story out. He'll do a punchline, but it might take him 90 seconds to get to that punchline as he weaves his way through.
Yes.
So he's good with the English. Unfortunately, I think what did he do? Did he feel some people up? And
Did he feel some people up?
He did something where he got the Me Too'd.
How about Albert Brooks? Do you like Albert Brooks?
Love Albert Brooks.
He is pretty funny. Albert Brooks.
So see, I like more than I don't like, but you can see the ones that I don't really give the thumbs up to are kind of the one-trick ponies, aren't they?
Well, I wouldn't call them I wouldn't call them one-trick ponies. I would call them from your standpoint is that they're too animated. All those people that you're talking about.
Yeah, it's broad physical comedy.
Yes.
And I don't think it's. Listen, I know a guy, knew a guy.
Who did you know a guy?
A lot of people thought he was funny, but everything he did was just aping like a Farley, a Curly Howard, and stuff like that real broad physical. And I was like, that's not real comedy, man, because verbally you want to connect with somebody's mind and not just being stupid.
Well, there's a lot of forms of comedy. You mentioned Curly Howard, Jerome Curly Howard. I think he was an absolute genius comedian in his own right.
I will say Curly Howard and Three Stooges in general are the best physical comedians of all time. I don't think there's any question about that. In fact, but I'm the weird one who my favorite Stooge is Larry Fine.
Why? Are you jealous of his hair?
I don't know, his faces and because he just, I don't know, when he get his hair yanked or his face punched,
it is so good. Oh, by the way, what is today? Today is whatever day this is. A week ago today, I was at the Field of Dreams in Dyersville, Iowa. The middle of nowhere, by the way. But anyway, that's where the Field of Dreams game was.
You would think they'd at least have a decent diner nearby.
I don't know if there was anything nearby. And by the way, as much.
How much was a hot dog at the game?
I don't. Well, actually.
Well, wait. You told me already. Tell these
yokels,
these gluttons for punishment by watching this. How much tickets were going for that game?
I think the average ticket was $2,000. $2,000.
Sure, because who doesn't want to spend $2,000 on a regular season baseball game?
But by the way, you were sitting in like bleacher benches, and it was hotter than hell when the game started. So like 90 degrees.
Are they leaving that up year round?
Yes.
They're not taking the stands down at all?
No, I think they're going to use them.
Because you could probably bring them in and out for games.
Yeah, what's the point of that? Where are you going to go store it? In some silo?
Well, it's a farm. I'm assuming they have a barn.
I'm guessing. I'm not 100% sure of this. I think the stadium, and kudos to Major League Baseball. They did put together a nice production, and I think those who watched it on TV probably got even more out of it than I did.
Number one ranked baseball game
in a long time, 16
years.
Yeah, so it was a big deal.
So what year would that have been? 1995? What would have been one of the World Series games?
16. It's 2021 minus 6. That's 2005. That's the White Sox.
Oh, so was it the Whites? Was it the one of the game 4 of the World Series? 2005.
Something tells me the White Sox at Houston was not the top.
You're the journalist.
I don't know, to be honest with you. Well, okay, you're not the mathematician because 1995 happens to be 26 years ago.
It was a good year.
Okay. Anyway, so Field of Dreams. All right, thinking about that. And actually, it was really cool, okay? And Kevin Costner was there. As they were going through the pregame stuff, it almost felt like the sequel to the movie. So I'm bringing it up to you. We're going now to famous baseball
so that 10 minutes
or sports movies.
That 10 minutes at the beginning of the show where we actually really talked about sports memorabilia, we're done.
No. I got more to get into that, but I'm just going up your alley, so to speak.
You watch those hands, pal.
Go on, give me some of your famous your favorite sports movies.
There's no question.
Doesn't have to be just baseball.
My favorite baseball movie is Bull Durham.
Bull Durham is great. Bull Durham is
But I
absolutely
mean,
great.
I also like a couple that some people, Field of Dreams is great. It is a baseball movie. Some people say it's not, but
Of course it is.
But I like his other one too. He did a trio for Love of the Game.
For Love of the Game was really good. Fat Mike, for those who are just looking in on or listening in on audio,
And
later
you haven't
in the
run
week,
away screaming.
Go ahead, Mike. What do you got to offer us?
The Field of the Dreams game was the MLB regular game since 2005. The previous holder was the Yankees and Boston Red Sox on October 5th, 2005. Also drew roughly 5.9 million.
Well, there you go. Yankees and the Red Sox.
Screw the Yankees.
Because that's all they show
Sox.
anymore.
Really?
I think every Yankees-Red Sox game, I think by law, has to be on ESPN.
All right. Now, it was really interesting because we asked Kevin Costner, name dropping, we asked Kevin Costner in the pregame before the game even started, because he's
After I said, hey, Kev.
ask Kevin Costner.
Hey,
something.
Kev, what's up, man?
Yeah,
and he looked around at me and he knows.
Yeah, I forgot to drop your name when I was talking to him. But anyway, we did ask him in a pregame interview because he's been in a lot of baseball movies, right?
He's been in 3.
Okay, so we asked him, what is your favorite baseball movie? And it was none of the 3 that he's been in.
Air Bud.
No, it wasn't Air Bud. There's been some really awful baseball movies also.
Oh, was it the remake of the Bad News Bears?
No, it wasn't that one.
No, damn.
It was probably the very first baseball movie you ever saw. Do you remember what that was?
The very first?
Yeah.
God, I don't know.
What?
Angels, the original Angels in the Outfield.
No, come on, you didn't see Pride of the Yankees?
Of course, Pride of the Yankees.
Pride of the Yankees. He loved Pride of the Yankees. He said,
that's a great film.
And yeah, of course it is a great film. Lou.
Hey, no spoilers. No spoilers.
For those who haven't seen the Lou Gehrig story, by the way. Yeah, Pride of the Yankees was his favorite movie, favorite baseball movie. But other movies, and I got a bunch of them here.
Well, I know you now. For those of you who,
I also have the worst baseball movies and worst.
Oh, that'll be
movies.
fun. All right. Listen, but I know you. I know you're a movie guy.
Yes.
You watch. You've seen every movie ever released.
No, not quite that far.
You got to catch up a little bit.
Every X-rated movie, maybe.
Every movie that got above 2 stars. I think, Well, in any case, David's seen a lot of movies, but I know we've talked before that your favorite sports movie is Raging Bull.
Raging Bull is a fantastic. I don't know if I have a number one sports movie. I love Field of Dreams. Raging Bull is right there with it, and Hoosiers. Those would probably be my top 3 sports movies.
Boy, man, after you had to coach the second half of the game, Dennis Hopper really shit the bed, didn't he?
And I also love Slapshot.
But here, wait.
Slapshot.
Slapshot is the absolute best. Hey, you know what? Back in the studio, I'm just getting word that you've mentioned porn once. I've mentioned porn once. We are now at a dead heat.
It's a race.
Isn't that what you say to your girlfriends when you gotta get in bed with them? Okay, ready, set,
go.
Let's see who can finish first.
Or
okay,
last.
wait. All right, so that's the thing is, okay.
How about Longest Yard?
The original with Burt Reynolds.
And actually, the second one with Adam Sandler, I thought it was going to be horrendous.
It's fine.
It's actually
fine,
okay
because not as good.
No, it's not as good as the one with Burt Reynolds, of course. I love that early scene with Burt Reynolds where he takes the girl's face and he just pushes her down. He takes her car keys and whatever he's drinking, and he just goes and busts up her car. That was great.
You and Trevor Bauer, huh?
Yes.
Trevor Bauer riding shotgun with you. Huh?
More breaking news. Trevor Bauer, the girl who accused him, and we're not going to get too deep into this one, she was not allowed to have the order of protection against him. So I guess he'll be pitching again semi-soon. I don't know.
From what I understand, his teammates don't want him back in the locker room.
If they want to win a world championship, they may want him back.
See.
I don't know.
But anyway,
we're not going to go down that one. The Caddyshack with Rodney. I like Caddyshack.
Yes.
Okay.
So, hang on, though.
Yeah.
See, like, we used to go, so if what's the one sport you would feel that just doesn't have a real good representation as far as good movies? And I think it's football. There are some good ones. But when you tell somebody, what's your favorite football movie? And they can't think of one, and then they automatically go, Any Given Sunday, which is not very good.
No, that one isn't. I like Semi-Tough, and I like North Dallas 40.
Those were both made in the early 1970s. We're 50 years later.
You asked me.
Well, I'm saying 50 years later, and we don't have a good football movie.
There haven't been any good football movies since then.
Kingpin
Bowling.
There you go.
My cousin wrote that movie, or was one of the writers on that movie.
Yeah, bullshit. But anyway.
No, it's true. You want to bet me on it?
I don't want to bet you on anything because you never pay.
Because my cousin was one of the writers on that movie. All right, let's go to the worst movies before we get back into sports memorabilia.
All right. I can tell you what the worst movie I've ever seen was, and it is sports based.
What is it?
The Water Boy with Adam Sandler.
That's not the worst, but it's certainly in the running.
Terrible.
Oh, I have one worse than that.
You got something worse than that?
Yes.
All right, let's go.
I don't know if you saw this. It was a basketball movie. It was called One on One with Robbie Benson.
I think it was about 7 when that came out.
Robbie Benson was the most uncoordinated maybe person ever to walk the earth, and they had him be a basketball player.
Wasn't there another basketball movie that came out maybe a few years later that had Gabe Kaplan as a player or former player?
Well, I think he was the coach, actually. And was that the one, the fish that saved Pittsburgh?
No, that's different. That's Dr. J. Dr. J was in it. So, no, basketball movie. You know what the best basketball movie is? It's Hoop Dreams.
Oh, Hoop Dreams. Well, it's a
documentary.
It's a documentary. No, Hoosiers is still the best basketball movie.
And you know what? Space Jam's fun, but did you see?
No, I'm not seeing. Listen, LeBron finishes second.
Here, one of our viewers, listeners, Vince Shoemate is saying North Dallas 40 is agreeing with you.
Yes,
but the replacements, and that was a fun one. That's the one. That's the one with Keanu Reeves.
Actually, I like that movie, and I like this girlfriend in that movie too.
What's the one where Kathy Ireland was the place kicker?
I don't know.
Somebody out there, if you're listening, there was a movie.
Is anybody listening?
There was a second. It was like a Division 8 college.
Oh, We Are Marshall is a great football movie too. It's a true story.
Remember the Titans?
That's another good football movie.
But do you feel they've suffered more than the other sports? Or maybe now we're bringing up basketball. We're finding that Air Bud might be the best.
Okay, well, our hockey movies.
Slapshot, Mystery Alaska.
I like that. A lot of people did not like that. Miracle. Yeah.
Necessary Roughness was the name of the picture with Kathy Ireland as a place kicker. And I tell you what, guys, even if the movie isn't that great, if you can't watch Kathy Ireland for 90 minutes, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah. All right, a couple other horrendous sports movies, and both involved Babe Ruth. There was the Babe Ruth story, the original, with William Bendix.
He was batting right-handed.
That's how screwed up the movie.
Babe Ruth
couldn't even get him to bat the right way.
And Babe Ruth, was not by this point in his career when they make the movie. Wasn't in the best shape. He was the Babe, plump,
right?
And, happy. William Bendix looked like he had another 20 years on Ruth. Yeah, was terrible. But if you're one of those people that can watch a movie ironically, yeah, get into it.
Okay, the other Babe Ruth story. I don't know if it was a remake. John Goodman played Babe Ruth, and he was horrendous also.
Here's the thing.
And I love him as an actor.
Here's the thing. I never saw that. Because a couple of people had saw it. They just it's so bad you don't even want to bother. And I didn't.
Okay, now, I'm just thinking now because, neither
Where do you rank 42? Did you like that one?
I did like 42. I thought it was really well.
I thought 42
and 61.
I thought 42. I like 61 better than 42, and I like 69 better than either one of those. I won, didn't I? Does that count? Go back to the home office and see if that counts. Did I just hit a walk-off? All right, listen.
Porno meter. Bing, bing, bing.
All right. Listen, 61 I liked better because it got into more of the kind of the background story. And it's going to sound weird, but I knew all this stuff about Jackie Robinson, so it was like I was watching a textbook because I knew this already, and nothing surprised me. It was a good movie. It was well made. Didn't hit me like the others because I think I just knew everything before it happened.
Okay. Well, yeah, obviously, because they're going back. It's almost like a biography, if you will, or whatever. The other sports movie that I had to bring up was what was it? Jimmy Pearsall, Fear Strikes Out. Okay, with Jimmy Pearsall.
Even Jimmy Pearsall, who probably got $50,000 for his life story, shit all over it.
So he hated it. Anthony, he used to always. He told this. You've heard him say this in print or on radio. But I used to work with Jimmy a long time ago. And Jimmy would always say, he threw like a girl.
Yeah.
I'm so embarrassed. He threw like a girl.
Yeah, well, that's when they were just, Anthony Perkins was kind of a hot commodity coming off Psycho.
Yeah.
And, it's just sometimes you should just look at, I'll give you another one that did, but it didn't, it didn't bother me the way the William Bendix did, or the Anthony Perkins thing did. Was in Field of Dreams, Joe Jackson was batting right-handed, and he was a very famous lefty.
Okay.
But Ray Liotta apparently couldn't bat left-handed.
Fast. Well, we talked about
again.
This is Vince.
Vince
Shoemate is now texting in on the screen about some movies. He said Slapshot. What was the other one? I didn't even
Fast Break, and I think that's the one with Mr. Cotter.
Mr. Cotter.
And that was Youngblood. Yeah, Youngblood being brought up is a good hockey movie. That was Rob Lowe.
Okay,
that was pretty good. What about, here's one. I don't remember anything about it though. I only remember that Leah Thompson went topless in it.
I'm gonna watch it tonight.
All the Right Moves with Tom Cruise. I think he was a high school football player. I'm not sure that's what the story shook out to be.
Bad casting.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if that's what the story shook out to be in the end, but I think he was a high school football star. I maybe it was the punter. I don't know.
All right, let's go back. Let's go.
Hey, but
yes,
You, even if you're going to shit on punters,
on punters.
Yeah, Pat McAfee, he could probably beat your ass.
Okay, how do we segue?
It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter how I get to where I'm going.
You just want to say somebody would beat my ass.
As long as I got out the fact that Pat McAfee would crush you.
And you as well, for what it's worth. It wouldn't take much on his part against you. All right, Heritage Auction. Again, the biggest auction house that there is, right?
Pretty much.
Sports and everything else. So apparently Willie McCovey's collection of stuff, and is he gone? I think he's gone.
Yes, he is.
All right, so his widow cashing in all
you know
his
what her
stuff.
name is?
Mrs. McCovey.
He knows her. He did know it. Okay.
So his MVP plaque, his Hall of Fame ring, his All-Star, whatever. So it just seems to be a trend, And again, I talk about this a lot. A lot of people hang on to this stuff, and then they die, and it's not worth shit to them. But some people are smart enough to do this. Are we still on the air? Okay, we're back. We faded to black for a second.
Most athletes, after they get older, they will. You'll find stuff like that going up at auction, either by family or by them as they get older. Johnny Bench did something last year.
Johnny Bench had to, because I guess he went through a bad divorce, and he has a second family now, so he needed the money.
Well, I
respect
when
that.
A guy hits that age, he's 70 years old or whatever, and he wants to cash in to provide for his family. That's a class thing to do. You don't need to sit on this stuff. If you want to donate something to the Hall of Fame, go ahead and sell the rest. I don't have a problem with that. Because what are you going to do? Like McCovey passed and left it, but his wife's still there, so now she can do something with it.
Yeah.
Willie McCovey, one of the most underrated players in baseball history, I think.
Oh, Willie McCovey hit the longest home run. Now, granted, I got to preface, it was during batting practice, okay? But I was, when I was younger, much younger, I was sitting in the right field bleachers for batting practice, and he was with the Giants, obviously. He hit one. It did not hit the scoreboard. It went by the scoreboard in right center field. It was the longest ball I've ever hit. Granted, it was batting practice. It was still the longest ball I've ever seen.
Every time you bring up Willie McCovey, it reminds me of the idiot Joe Morgan. And I'm talking about the Hall of Fame second baseman who's also did the Sunday Night Baseball for ESPN for too many years.
And the late Joe Morgan, for what it's worth. But go ahead.
Yeah. He throws it out there one night to his broadcast partner, John Miller, who's one of the great broadcast guys.
He is one of the greats, yes.
He says, I got a trivia question for you. Who hit the hardest line drives you ever saw?
Oh, that's a ridiculous question.
John Miller says, well, that's not a trivia question. That's you're asking my opinion on something.
Right.
And Morgan's like, no, pressing him.
Okay.
No. Come on, answer the question. And Miller, of course, prefaces it and says, well, you're asking my opinion on this. So I guess the answer, the hardest line drives I ever saw, Willie McCovey. And Joe Morgan goes, that's incorrect. It's Al Oliver.
Okay, yeah, all right. Prove it, a-hole. Yeah, Joe Morgan was not a pleasant person when Joe Morgan used to come into Wrigley, or
maybe the greatest second baseman ever played, but
yeah, but he was and he was, I don't know, he's sort of stuck up, I guess is the nicest way of putting it.
Well, he was, I think he had a little bit of Napoleon syndrome as well. Was he like 5'7", 5'8"?
Yeah, he was short. There's no question about it. But whatever, he was a great ball player. No question. All right, Heritage Auction. So I guess they're right now in the midst. They're always in the midst of auction. So I'm going to just throw some current stuff that they have up for auction. Then I think it's going to close in the next couple of days.
Okay.
1932 Babe Ruth signed contract, and there's a few days left in the bidding. But right now it's at $162,000.
Not surprising.
Okay.
It's Babe Ruth autograph. That's a very unique item.
Very unique. Oh my God, I'm surprised. I'd be shocked if it doesn't go way much further.
I was going to say, if you're going to ask me my guess, I was going to say probably right around now about 162,000, and then finishing up at whatever it finishes up at.
Double. I'm going to say double when it's all said
I'm
and
going to
done.
say I'm going to say I'm going to stick with my answer, whatever it ends.
Okay.
Whatever it ends up as.
Good answer, Al Oliver.
It's an excellent answer.
Al Oliver. All right, Ty Cobbs, 1914 contract. Currently, it's just under $100,000. I don't know why. Why isn't his as much as Babe Ruth's?
Because Babe Ruth is the guy.
Yeah. All right, but it's a lot
Well,
less.
if you're talking about the icons of baseball.
Yes, I know. Well, Cobb is one of the. I don't know if he's one of the icons, but he's one of the biggest names.
Yes, but I don't know if he's in the top 10 of the icons.
Okay, well, that's an interesting
that
thing. Well,
matters because Mickey Mantle was by no stretch of the imagination the best or second best or third best player of all time. Yet, you know that his stuff goes for ultimately way more than a lot of other players. Goes
That's
for more
true.
than Aaron, goes for more than Mays. And I believe both Aaron and Mays probably were better players, or at least Mays was.
Well, it's going to be interesting what Shohei Ohtani's stuff is down the road, because right now he's going to win the MVP award.
Yeah, your Jack Morris got fired, huh?
Oh, he got fired?
Oh, breaking news! Hey, wait, it's breaking news day.
I knew he got suspended.
No, he got. Well, maybe suspended.
He was okay. Unbreaking news on your part. He got suspended earlier today by the TV station, and the Tigers signed off on that.
You know what? You got to rain all over my parade of breaking news.
I love doing
I bring
that.
breaking news to the table, and all you can do is
You know
tell
what?
me
One thing
that
that I
somebody
always
beat me
one
to
thing,
it.
well,
and-
no. Here, one thing I always prided myself in: you don't always have to be first in journalism, but you have to be correct. And all those dopes that I competed with, who were first but were wrong, okay, were wrong.
Do you want to mention any of them by name?
No, not right now.
Can I?
No, don't. Joe DiMaggio and Marilyn Monroe, a signed baseball. Did you see this one? It's very clearly you have the.
Now, see, that would be if I was like a deep pockets collector who didn't
that would
really
be
have
something.
Have an avenue to go down. I would think that'd be a really, really cool item to have.
And I think it'll escalate. I mean, because it's a real rarity.
Oh yeah, it's got to go for I don't know, maybe $250,000.
Well, right now it's only at $1.25, 125,000.
Only, he says.
Well, but it's half of 250, so we'll see.
That was good math. 50% of 250.
I am good at math. Babe Ruth game used bat. Right now, it's a couple days. I think it's not 1930. I don't know what game.
Depends on which game.
I don't know.
Did he hit a home run with that bat?
I know.
What's it at?
No, he fouled it off. $450,000.
Not a shocker.
Okay.
See, none of these are shocking anymore. Well, if you're listening or watching and you're choking on some of these prices, man, the last 2 years in sports memorabilia has been
it's crazy,
unlike anything I've ever seen. You've gotten, I want to say, 7 cards break the $1 million barrier. Cards,
yeah,
cards. Not a Babe Ruth game used bat. Not a Marilyn Monroe signed baseball card.
Yeah, it's crazy, and you have to be rich. Although I got to say this, Rich Little. Do you like him as a comic?
He was an impressionist. He wasn't a comic.
Well, he was on the Tonight Show and sometimes did stand-ups.
He had to stand up so people could see him because he was little.
Rich Little, there you go.
Yeah.
I have to say this.
Why do you question me on these things?
Because I love doing that. In your shop here at AU Sports, 6006 Dempster in Morton Grove. You know, we talk about this all the time, that you have to be rich to be part of this collection industry, if you will. But what I've noticed, and yes, there's a real cross section of people who come in here. Yeah, you have your regulars who are 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. But you also have a lot of kids that come in here who will become the next generation. Now, they might not be able to compete on the $6.6 million card for Wagner, but they're, maybe if they make their millions in the stock market or whatever else, they will be the next generation of people to continue this thing.
It's cyclical like anything else.
And it's good for your business.
And, we're going to see where it winds up. We're going to see if this holds. I think the kids are actually suffering right now with the way a lot of the cards are going up, and they're also starting to expect what's this going to be worth, and that to me That's the one I hate to hear, because if I knew what anything was going to be worth, I wouldn't even be doing this podcast. I'd be sitting on my porch in the Maldives, watching the dolphins swim by. Maldives, take a look online.
Is that close to Cedarsville or Dyersville, Iowa?
Right across the street. But
by the way, it stunk at Dyersville, Iowa. There was so much. I don't know if it was the corn or cow poop or something. I don't know. It stunk there.
I'm pretty sure it was Jose Abreu.
No, I don't think it was Jose Abreu.
All right, so but seriously, there's going to be.
You?
I'll try. There's going to always be a separation between that high end stuff and people who just want to have some cards and collect some cards and have some fun. And I hope that continues, because obviously kids are the lifeblood of this business, and they're the ones that are going to continue to take it to the next level.
Yeah, I don't know for sure, but it seems like this business is inflation proof, because you don't have to, like a lot of kids come in here and they'll spend $20 and end up getting 10 cards, and it whets their appetite. And as they get older and they make more money, then they're going to come back for the Sandy Koufax cards or something.
Yeah, but I also want to, I always temper kids when they start that nonsense about what a card's worth. Is like, do this because you like it. Do it because you love it. Do it because that's your favorite player. That's your favorite team.
Well, I think most of them are that way. But as they get older and they see that there's some money to be made in this business, we'll see.
But not everybody can make money in this business.
Okay. Well, not everybody.
I'm barely.
All right. A few other items.
I can afford this guy.
Then you're really hard up.
Hey, let's before we
say something about our sponsor, please.
Yes, no, I absolutely want to, because I've got some events to mention here for our friends over at the Village Inn Pizzeria over on 8050 Lincoln Avenue, Skokie, Illinois. We always
there we go.
Got a nice graphic there.
What a great producer we have going tonight.
Well, you're gonna make him get full of himself. He's okay. No, but seriously, I wanted to mention the things you talked about. August the 21st, which is actually only 2 days from our live shot, and if you hear the audio, WWE SummerSlam. So if you like that, John Cena. He's like, he's in the movie The Suicide Squad.
I was just going to say that. And he contributes to a really crappy movie.
WWE SummerSlam is the 21st of August. There is no cover charge. You can go in, sit down and eat some food and watch WWE.
Food is great. Food is
but
great.
This is the one I want to push, is actually Sunday, which is only 3 days away. There is more wrestling, except it's going to be live in the streets.
In the streets?
At the Village Inn. Yes.
Really?
We're going to go. Village Inn Pizzeria is helping host the Scuffle and Skokie. There's going to be
Scuffle and Skokie. I love it.
This is WWE Hall of Famer Rikishi.
Oh, Rikishi
is going to be there. What was that, by the way? I think Rikishi can speak English. So he's going to be on the card, and then the following Saturday it is Showtime Championship Boxing. Actually, I got the main event. I had to write it down because me pronouncing these boxers' names. David Benavides?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
168 pounds.
Hey. And then, this is going to be tough. Jose, I got that right, Jose?
Yeah, I think you're safe there.
Jose Uzcategui.
I'm not going to correct you because
Jose, the hose man, Uzcategui.
Benavides someday will fight Canelo Alvarez.
That is the main event, Saturday, August 28th, over at the Village Inn, where they never charge a cover for pay-per-view events. And then there's also other great stuff. There's music on the patio on the weekend nights.
Oh, you say they have the best patty melt.
The best patty melt. The best patty melt in the world.
And we hope to have a live show at Village Inn sometime in the near future.
Well, as soon as we can get you out of bed.
Okay.
Got to drag David out of bed these days. He's semi-retired.
Yeah, I am. Technically, I am. All right. A few other sports items that are currently up for the Heritage Auction. There's a Gehrig ticket for when he did his luckiest man speech.
For the game?
Yeah.
I can't imagine that would be more than about $10,000.
$100,000.
Get out of town.
$100,000.
For the luckiest man speech?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, that's a really rare game.
Yeah. I don't know.
Rare game.
Tickets are weird. You're weird.
I resemble that. Will Chamberlain's 100-point game.
A ticket to that as well?
Mm-hmm.
Can't be as much.
More.
No.
More.
Well, you know why?
Because no
'Cause
one
no one's there. No one was there, so there's only like
Hershey,
one or two
Pennsylvania.
tickets. Yeah, one or two tickets left.
$150,000.
That's why.
$150,000. How about Michael
You
Jordan?
know, I once scored 100 points in a game.
Yeah, in what, a pinball game?
No, it was just one shot, 100 points.
Shot 100 points.
I quit. Then I just stopped. Like,
I bet you couldn't even make a layup.
we're gonna do that live.
Okay, that will be part of our live show.
Oh, we got to start doing some stuff. I'll lay. I'm gonna drive on you. I'm gonna drive on you. I'm gonna do a layup, and I'm gonna go home, and I'm gonna
fall asleep.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan's debut game ticket.
200,000.
No, only 50.
900,000.
56,000.
Yeah, just
okay. His assigned MJ ticket.
Have you ever noticed this though?
What?
That when I get things wrong and I'm supposed to be a sports memorabilia guy, that I don't care.
What? Why should you? It's only a podcast. Michael Jordan's 82 NCAA championship game. He signed apparently a ticket.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
What name did he sign? Did he sign his own?
I would hope so.
Wouldn't that be terrible? If you're like, Michael, could you sign this? And he hands it back to you. It says James Worthy.
Yes. Might be worth more. I don't know. That's around $100,000. Let's see what else we got.
I got a box of tickets. I got to start going through this stuff.
Okay, here's an interesting one. Shoeless Joe Jackson's driver's license. I saw this up for auction. His driver's license.
Listen, I'll give you mine for free.
I think it's suspended, by the way.
Wow. I don't know. I've never seen any athlete sell their driver's license.
Is it for a horse and carriage? I mean,
is this another one in heritage auctions?
Yes.
Do you ever ask yourself where they get all this stuff?
I actually have asked myself.
Obviously it's a reputation thing.
Yeah, so
people go to them, but damn.
What's the big one for like celebrities? How do you pronounce it? You're going to make fun of me. Sotheby's? Sotheby's?
Yeah, Sotheby's.
Sotheby's?
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean,
in London?
Is that where it is?
I think so.
Okay. I mean, they get a lot of stuff too. So Shoeless Joe Jackson's driver's license, his driver's license is $125,000.
Can you use it to get into nightclubs?
I don't think so.
Could you?
Can you prove you're 21? Shoeless Joe Jackson. You're only 20 there.
No, wait. Okay, you look at the date of birth. You are 140. Come on in.
That's right. All right, there's some other ones that I think you'll have fun with. We talked about this previous, but it finally sold. Neil Schon, is that how you say his name?
Neil Schon from Germany.
Okay, his whole guitar collection.
How many?
I think there was like 90 some odd guitars.
$10 a guitar.
Yeah, a little bit more than that.
Like 9,000. I don't know. What 90 guitars?
Give or take.
He had to get close to what? I don't know. 750?
$4.2 million.
Why? It's only Neil Schon.
I don't know.
I was trying to be generous and say it like 10 grand a guitar.
Well, but there's one where he does what's the big song?
Well, okay, I know. Don't Stop
Believing.
Believing.
Yeah, don't stop.
Okay, here's the guitar I wrote. Don't Stop Believing on. Oh, that's pretty cool. And here's the album that we recorded the Evolution album on. Oh, that's pretty cool. And here's the one I did the rest of my piece of shit career songs on.
It added up to $4.2 million.
Journey is good up to about 1980. After that, you can have them.
Yeah, I'm not really a fan. All right, you know who bought it though? That whole collection?
Sammy Hagar.
No.
Wait, let me guess. Ted Nugent.
No.
Oh, wasn't a guitar player?
No.
Sting.
No, you'll
the wrestler.
No, none of those people. Jim Irsay.
The
Colts owner who we talked about him buying Elton John's piano that he had on tour.
He's going to start a tribute band.
I guess so.
That's just it.
But what's really interesting? I mean, Jim Irsay is a very big time collector because we talked about him having Elton John's piano, which I think went for like $950,000.
And he's got his mother's nose.
I guess so. But he also bought some stuff from Bob Dylan and the Beatles and Prince and Jim Morrison. So he's obviously a very avid collector.
See, now if I was and I would love to be a collector like that. I've looked into music memorabilia of some of my favorites, and it's just at a stratosphere I don't want to get into. But boy, if I was collecting stuff like that, I still wouldn't buy $900,000 worth. How much was it? $4 million?
$4.2 million.
Neil Schon's guitars, unless you're going to shift some of them out and try to make a profit.
I don't know.
Well, I'm not really that big a Journey fan. But for me, if I had just a single Pete Townsend guitar, I'd be very, very satisfied with that. I probably wouldn't need anything else.
Again,
but it would be cool to do. It would be cool to do a 4-piece. The Who is my favorite band. I mean, if you told me I could have a Jimmy Page guitar too, that's fine.
How about
Herman's Hermits?
I love Herman's Hermits.
I know you do.
I do. How about Tiny Tim's
No taste in music.
ukulele?
Well, I'm sure he had more than one. Depends, What about the one he played at Woodstock?
Oh, that's right. He was at Woodstock.
No, he was not.
No, he was not at Woodstock?
No.
How about Woodstock?
He's just trying to fit in.
Okay. All right. One last one before we get out of here, because we've crossed over the hour mark here at this point. And this is up your alley. Apparently a Bugs Bunny production cell. And I don't even know what that is. And this was
that's the piece
the
of
real
animation. Yeah, one of the pieces.
Okay. Yeah. And it was for, and you tell me if you remember this, it was one of I guess the episodes, Hair Raising Hair. Do you recall that one?
I think that's the one where he takes the potion and he turns.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Boy, that was a hell of a description, huh? The one where he takes the potion and does the thing, and yeah.
That'll go over big on the audio only podcast.
Yeah.
All right, so that went for $53,000. What do you do with that?
You frame it, you put it somewhere. I see, but
if you help me to understand what that even is, I don't understand.
Okay. When they do animation, you have to have like
all the slides.
So yes, more or less, but it's usually a larger piece that the artist does. Then they take a picture of that, and then they move it along.
And then they
whatever they do to make movies. I don't know. And yeah, so it's a very cool piece. $50,000. I mean, if that's where that sits at, I wouldn't know. That's not my department. I'd love to have something like that, though. I have my Bugs Bunny collection. Yes, I said it.
I'll bet you have a Bugs Bunny blanket. You have a Bugs Bunny blanket?
No.
Daffy Duck?
No.
What do you have?
I just have I have a comforter.
Yeah, but come on, it's got to have some kind of motif or
no. But I
logo
sleep in a race car.
Okay.
I have a race car bed. Does that make you happy?
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
My Bugs Bunny collection is just basically several, busts, statues, Funko Pops. The only thing I don't have, and I probably will have to pick one up eventually, is the Bugs Bunny doll that I had as a kid. He was a furry, about probably 12, 14 inches tall. I would add him because Bugs is like of the different things,
iconic character.
Of the different things of my life that I enjoy. Bugs is in the top 10.
Well, it's an iconic character, and again, most of those were adult humor that you just had to pay attention to. When you were as a kid, you didn't understand that it was adult humor, but it is adult humor.
And by the way, is it rabbit season or duck season?
I don't know. We'll have to ask Daffy.
Yeah. Yes.
Daffy. All right. On that note, because we've gone way past the hour mark, let's wrap it up. Again, he's Scott Beatty. He's the owner and operator of AU Sports right here. You can see some of the stuff in the background. 6006 Dempster in Morton Grove. I'm David Schuster. He's a good friend of mine. We're brought to you by Village Inn, 8050 Lincoln Avenue in Skokie. We've talked a lot about them. Great place, great food. We're brought to you by 1252 Sports Entertainment. And again, appreciate you all listening and viewing us on our live broadcast, and when it will be taped in a little bit also. Anyway, for now, that's it.
Goodbye.